introduce our next speakers, I want to introduce our panelists and have them come join us on the stage. Dr. Eureka Jones. She is a professional trainer, a facilitator, a consultant, and education for over 20 years. She presently serves as the chair of the SCORE Middle Georgia and as the president of Eventual Success LLC. Thank you, Ms. Steve Williams. He is a servant leader, a business coach, an entrepreneur. He is also the president of the Small Business Services Center, Reliable Global Systems, and Williams Business Network International. He has worked in the financial industry for over 29 years. Let's welcome Mr. Williams. Also, Dr. James BUMPUS. He has worked as an executive administrative roles for more than 20 years. He has experience as a senior pastor in academics, as a community leader, and executive administrator in the county government, the private sector, and in his faith community. Let's welcome Dr. David BUMPUS. Mr. Alex HABERSHAM. He is an educator and a motivational speaker. He is also the founder of the MACON-MIDDLE Black Pages and Resource Guide. As the publisher of the Black Pages, his goal is to improve our African American community economically through communism. Let's welcome Mr. HABERSHAM. All right. Next we have Brother Bedford. He is a technology consultant. Brother Bedford is a strong advocate for entrepreneurship and independence. His life mission is to help as many Black people as he can to live a better life by discovering the entrepreneur greatness. Let's welcome Mr. Brother Bedford. Also, Ms. GIANNAN Brown. She is a pioneer in the wealth transformation movement. Body by Logic is a self-created body care line and eventual spa and wellness chain. She mentors a group of teens in her leadership training program and also partners with visionaries as to help them become business owners from inception to $250,000 a year. So let's welcome Ms. Brown. Also, we have our tour organizer, Professor Devin Robinson. He is an entrepreneur. He has opened up over 80 beauty supply stores. He is also the founder of this organization and the founder of Urban Business Institute. Let's welcome Professor Devin Robinson. Our last panelist we have is Mr. David Anderson. We've seen him on the film. He is a real estate investor. He is passionate about real estate and helping the Black community own their own homes and teach financial stability in our community. www.maconblackpages.com.
All right. Thank you everyone for being here. So as we saw from the movie, Black people aren't poor. We tend to be poor-minded. And one of the things that I really want you to think about is money, power, respect. We understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
The thing is, we get the money, but we don't get the power because we give away our power. So we never make it to the next stage in the process of money, power, respect. A felony conviction does not have an expiration date. Which means, by the time you wake up and realize you are young and foolish, you can't shake it. You can't get rid of it. The good thing is, business ownership also does not have an expiration date. I'm moving on, because y'all can catch that in the car. So then the final step is, they're a convicted felon, and now we know your life has changed. You can't get student loans if you want to go to college. You can't get a good job. In many cases, you can't vote. You stay in a low-wage job. So what happens is this convict campaign has a series of steps that leads to our people staying at the bottom of the wealth totem pole. And you know what happens when we do that? The final step, they become career criminals, or they pursue entrepreneurship as a final resort. How many of you have been raised in your household to go out and build wealth and build enterprises? Versus make sure you get good grades and get yourself a good job. All of that is erased once you get a felony conviction, right? No one stumbles into success. It's like a deliberate decision, right? You don't stumble into success. So we can't walk around casually saying, I want to be powerful and successful, and it happens. Meanwhile, our behaviors on a daily basis don't line up for that. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to business and entrepreneurship, you got to take that thing seriously. You got to study it. You got to build it. You got to sacrifice. You got to have patience. You got to go against the grain of many of the people in your circle. So many of the times what we have to do is have a solution strategy, of course, train for entrepreneurship or enterprising. I don't believe in the street corner hustler, right? I think that's a temporary step. You should never stay there. You should become an enterpriser. Owning land, keys and deeds. That's my approach, my philosophy. Keys and deeds. Buildings, land, these are things that we need to own. What we have to do is make black businesses matter. Not 1 week, not 1 month, not like a Montgomery bus boycott so we can sit in the front of the room. We don't protest and storm the building so we can come out with applications. We storm the building so we can go in and come out with contracts. Say it. We have to make black businesses matter. It has to be a part of our culture. Why are we focusing so much on business? Why don't we focus on getting jobs? That makes us more vulnerable than anything else. We're worried about immigrants coming to our country taking jobs. We need to worry about them coming creating jobs. Because the job creator is the one who wins, right? We have to understand that we have to make business the top priority. We can't allow people to guilt us into thinking we're being divisive. We gotta hold people's feet to the fire. There are 3 groups that I want to talk to real quick tonight. The entrepreneur, you gotta create top-notch businesses and service. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. If you say you're gonna do something, do it on the day and the minute you say you're gonna do it. A matter of fact, deliver it an hour sooner. We gotta talk to the employees. We gotta know how to work for a black business because many times we don't have the same amenities as a corporation. And we gotta sacrifice that. But what happens is we sell our skills to the highest bidder. Then we have to talk to the customer and explain why we need to buy, of course, from our black businesses. You gotta take it to the next level. We can't feel guilty about being black. We gotta make black businesses matter. Because at the end of the day, negative people make the news and positive people make history. Thank you very much.
Financial independence is gained when we truly own the land. When the land that we own is generating income, we're making money per kilowatt hour, and that money that's being generated is used to pay the taxes on the land, so we don't lose the taxes to the Bibb County Court Marshal, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. That's black power. We stop that, oh, I got a mortgage. And the language in the word mortgage is mortificare, taken from the Latin, means death. The second word means engagement. It's an engagement until death. That's a farce. So somebody told you to create a debt culture, a debt society, and it's not something that we need to be perpetuating to build wealth. We have to control our resources. As black people, we got work to do. We got a lot of work to do, and I ain't come here to make you feel all nice and nice. I'm here to remind you of the work that we got to do. We got a lot.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Rick for the movie because it really was an eye-opener. I have a small business myself, and I think that something that we don't do as well with is sharing. I have the saying, knowledge is power, but it's not power if you don't use it. Now, I am the SCORE chair, and I don't know if a lot of you know what SCORE is. SCORE is a nonprofit organization that is nationwide, and it provides face-to-face counseling and also mentoring for small businesses. So we're located in the chambers, here, the Greater Macon Chamber, and also at the Robbins Regional Chamber.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Dr. Robbins. people associated with the making of this phenomenal movement. Secondly, I want to charge everybody in the room to make this movement available to everybody. You don't have to be a rabble-rouser to take an interest in improving our own community. I mean, you can very quietly go to www.MACONBlackPages.com and find an African American business to do business with, or you can get a book, and I'm not trying to be self-serving. It's so simple that, you know, we can make a commitment to find on a weekly basis a business with which we can do business, and we can tell our friends the same thing. So I think it's a phenomenal project, and I think it's doable, you know, because you don't have to walk around with your fists in the air and do all that kind of stuff in order to make a difference in our community. And in closing, you know, it really embarrasses me that in many other communities, the dollar stays in the community anywhere from 20 to 18 days, and in our community, it stays in our community 6 hours. And people are really, really, really taking advantage of us. You know, that's why you see all of these people with these convenience stores on the corner who wouldn't contribute $50 to the PTA to save their lives. You know, and we go flocking in there. So I think that this movie should be exposed, you know, to everybody. You know, they got copies out there, you know, but we should demand, suggest that the churches and the organizations and the nonprofits and the businesses expose the movement to everybody. And there may be some things in there that you disagree with, but you can't disagree with the fact that, you know, we ought to take advantages of the resources that we have to improve our own community.
I'm Steve Williams, and my background is banking. I spent over 27 years in that industry from Macon, Georgia. I started in banking right here in Macon as a management associate, and I forced my way into that industry. And that's the best way I can tell you. I just kept calling them back, after going to school to get a good education, making good grades, and trying to find that good job, which is still a fallacy today. And I guess one of the things that I realized from many years was that who was going to support me in the banking industry. And I found that out real quickly, that it wasn't going to be anybody else except for my brothers and sisters. But I found out also that it's also about collection of people. You just can't focus on one area, because money is green. It's economics, and you create something, you don't care who buys it. You just want to have a product or service, as this film was dictating, that we need to have something that we can basically market. We are consumers because we choose to be consumers. I think about my grandfather, who's a sharecropper, and I think about growing up in a family of 8 children, 4 boys and 4 girls, and we didn't have a whole lot of money. But as a teenager, I went out and found a job. You call it landscaping today, I call it cutting the grass. And I was trying to make $5. And that's what I used to do back in those days. And I was cleaning houses as a teenager. We did those things. And I think we've gotten away from wanting to do things and using our talents and abilities. But also, let's not limit ourselves just on what we can do in this country. We're in a global commerce right now. With technology, internet, e-commerce, everything is going on. Don't limit yourself. God doesn't place any limits on you. What can you do? Something I started years ago when I started one of my companies was I started partnering with the folks I was supporting in business. If I was sending you money out of my paycheck, you were going to do business with me. Well, I'll find somebody else to do business. You were not going to provide that service. You were not going to be a taker. We were going to have a mutual relationship. If I support you, you support me. If you didn't, I cancel Christmas. I figured out a long time ago, if we allow that dollar to circulate, my insurance agent is a partner, my doctor, my dentist, my pharmacist, my landscaper, my barber, my financial planner, all those folks support our business. Why? Because I support theirs, and we keep that dollar circulating. Just think about it. You got a room full of folks right here. You think about it. If all of you guys look at your services that you provide, and you have $1,000 and you circulate it, and that $1,000 comes right back to you if you have a business or service. But you also have to develop a relationship. This is all about a relationship. A business owner is not you go out and start a business and a service and you're going to make it. It's about relationships. And the only reason I was able to step away because of all the relationships, all the boards I served on, all the people that I met that I was willing to go out there then and work. How many folks are part of a business network today? How many of you? See, most of you don't even know. You're already part of one. It's called Sam Walton at Walmart. You're taking all your money. It's called Big Lots. It's called the mall. You're part of their network. You just don't get compensated for it. You got to figure out how to put yourself in the middle where you get a return on everything that you do.
I'm James Lewis BUMPUS, and I want to say thank you to the organizers of this event for giving me an opportunity to participate. What's the first thing we need to do? One is to embrace a consciousness that understands that there's nothing that's holding you back. It's not your dreads, it's not the texture of your hair, it's not the hue of your skin, it's not being from the East Coast, the West Coast, the North Macon, the South Macon. If you want to do it, you can do it. That's to the business owners. First decide, are you in business to make a living, or are you in business to build the business?
What suggestions or resources do you have available for the attendees tonight?
I'm all about entrepreneurship. I teach people how to build businesses. I have books outside, how to transition from employee to employer. I know that's a very vulnerable thing for people, trying to understand how to replace your job income into entrepreneurship income and shift your mindset in the process, because that's a very scary thing, especially when you have a family. So I have a book that I wrote specifically on that, how you transition from employee to employer. And we have training. I have a training institute 1 year, business training institute in Atlanta.
As I indicated, I'm a business owner. My company is a digital success, and I do training, personal and professional development. So I can assist you with developing yourself with the skills that you need to further your success in your business or in your employment. I'm also the SCORE chair here, and we offer free counseling and workshops for any small businesses. September 16th and 17th, we're going to do a Women Entrepreneur Leadership Conference here in Macon, Georgia. So kind of be on the lookout for that. The website is middlegeorgia.score.org.
I published the MACON-MIDDLE Georgia Black Pages, which is your premier resource to find African American businesses in Central Georgia. And my connection is that you don't need to scratch your head as it relates to find a business with which to do business. We've got some books outside, and the website is www.maconblackpages.com. We also do other promotional and advertising service. I got an email database with about 12,000 emails on it, so we can help to promote your event, your service, and your institution and your product. www.maconblackpages.com. As the originator of this event, I want to thank the Douglas. I want to thank Dr. Robinson, wherever he is, for bringing it to Macon initially. And I also want to thank Audrey for her participation. And I want to thank Overtime Bar and Grill for agreeing to provide us with a reception. It's been well worth the effort.
One of the things I recommend is first you need to have a plan. So you're just looking at starting a business, you have to have a plan written down of what you want to aspire to do. And there are many resources out there. There's the SBA, there's the website, there's the SCORE, but there's also the University of Georgia, which has their Small Business Development Center up in Macon, and they will help you with that business plan and with your projections as well. But you got to be willing to invest. First thing is, you're not going to develop a business, you're not going to build a business thinking like an employee. Business owners work hard. I'm up late at night, and I'm a church loan consultant as well as a small business consultant as far as finding funding for small business. Now, I stick with mostly my professionals, my doctors and things of that nature. I have a lot of clients up in the Atlanta, Savannah area, but that's what I do, but I'm willing to share that information with you. I don't have a problem with that, but the resources are out there, and there's resources for everyone. But this is the other thing I'm finding with small business. if you're going to need to borrow money, you need to have a pretty good credit score if you're going to borrow money. I mean, and everybody says, well, if I had good credit, I wouldn't need to go find it. You're right. So that means your credit is part of your character. It's part of who you are in this society, the way we work today. So it's playing the game the way it's set up, but the resources are phenomenal. There's a lot of money out there if you know how to go about it, but you got to basically research it and take care of your business I'm gonna say at home and paying your bills on time. Okay, and I mean that from a banking standpoint. I find so many folks don't pay taxes, don't pay on time, and they want to borrow money. Well, I don't care if it's a white bank, black bank, Korean bank, whatever bank. Guess what? The answer is no. Okay, so you have to get yourself in line with that first and foremost. But start reading also. You know, Frederick Douglass had something said there. You want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Because we won't read. And you have to read. You have to be willing to grow to the next level. You don't go to the next level, you grow to the next level. And you have to take that knowledge in and then be able to pass that knowledge on to generation to generation, but also to other people as well. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to piggyback on what Brother Williams has said. I'm in the public sector as well as the private sector. As it relates to opportunities to do business with Macon-Bibb County, we have resources in place that will allow local business owners to be competitive in our bid and RFP, request for proposals, request for qualifications process. Several things in place. He talked about credit. There's nothing that changes one's life in the United States of America like a healthy relationship with God, having the boo, whichever boo is your boo, and raising your credit score 120 points. We're working toward developing 700 better credit score communities. And what that means, I know y'all looked at me like I'm just plumb crazy. But what happens is when you have a 700 better credit score and you walk into the bank to get a loan, you can negotiate a better rate, your income is not verified, or they have the option to verify, not to verify your income. And it just makes access to financial capital a whole lot easier. When we have 700 better credit score communities in Macon-Bibb County, investment is attracted to the community. Investment is attracted to the community. Operation Hope. My wife and I are the owners of the BUMPUS group, which focuses on marketing and branding, which focuses on sales profitability and understanding the critical component of administration. It's the 10% of administration of your business that determines what goes on with the other 90%. And so those resources are there. Operation Hope is providing for us the money management and credit counseling resources. There is an opportunity through the Office of Small Business Affairs for 25 local small business owners to receive intensive technical assistance. It's a partnership between the Office of Small Business Affairs, State Bank, and University of Georgia Small Business Development Center. Those courses start in September of this year. You'll be able to go out to my page on Macon-Bibb County .us, Office of Small Business Affairs page, and download the scholarship application. It's a simple one-page application. 25 slots available to empower business owners in terms of understanding credit, in terms of understanding a lot of what we talked about tonight.
Sorry, we got it.
Yeah, my name is Brother Bedford. Again, I help business owners and entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, to take their knowledge, their experience, their expertise, their passions, and turn them into online products, whether it's ebooks, courses, podcasts, videos, things of that nature. And I've worked with some of the leading Black millionaire entrepreneurs across the country, Power Networking Conference, George Frazier, Les Brown, Michael B. Roberts. And so the beautiful part about what I'm sharing with you, or what I have shared with you, is that any and everyone in here can do it. You don't have to do it at a scale of a 6 or 7 figure business like some of us have. But if you just wanted to make extra income, again, that's why I wanted to stress that, again, to generate income for yourself and your business, you can do this. I want to give you my book, Notification of Payment Received. How many of you would like to receive some notifications of payment received? Trust me, there's no greater feeling than waking up in the morning, turn on your computer, and seeing those 4 words just staring back at you. And so I want to give you my book, that you can get this book. You can go to notificationofpaymentreceived.com, or you can take out your mobile phone and you can text the word book to 58885. That's 58885. Thank you.
My mission is to help people build sustainable family empires. And the way that I came up with that mission was that I did look at the Walton family that owns Walmart, and their family never has to work again, and they're global, right? So anything you're doing, try to figure out a way to take it global, and that way you can tap into other markets. That's the reason why I learned Spanish, because I understood that there are other people in other countries that need your services. So if you're online, you can definitely tap into those resources and make your family have a global empire. Secondly, we want to start with a micro approach and start with you as far as your identity, because that's going to determine your success. If you have an identity that doesn't show you that you're going to be someone of greatness and have abundance, then you can't have a successful business or legacy. And then on a macro level, we want to make sure you have a legacy that's generationally sustainable. That means that even when you're not here, your legacy continues, your family continues to get dividends on the seeds that you sown before they arrived.
Vote with your dollars. It's as simple as that. By voting with your dollars, what I mean is, and it's just that simple, and the money will come back to you, because at that point, you're loving yourself. So if you're not buying black, if you're not voting with your dollars, then guess what? You're playing for the other team, because you're shooting baskets in the Koreans' basket, in the Indian basket, and the black basket is here with 0. Thank you.
The website that we constructed specifically for tax lien certificates. This is www.taxsaleseminar, that's TAX sale, SALE, seminar.com, taxsaleseminar.com. I'll email you a copy, an ebook copy, an electronic copy of the book. It's 147 pages, all things tax lien certificates, judicial foreclosures, super tax liens, HOA liens, the whole 9 yards. So the email address is info@taxsaleseminar.com.
I'm so glad you all was able to make it out tonight. Let's show Macon, Georgia, and the rest of the world that black businesses do matter. Thank you for coming.
www.makingblackpages.com